And, my fingertips and my toes would change colors when it would happen. They turn like bright, 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 right. And I'm like, God, what the hell's happening to me? So, then I'm pregnant with my first three children. I have my older three children in my early 20s. And during my pregnancies, my right kidney would blow up like a balloon and be 3 times its normal size. And it was shutting down and only working 25%. My heart was having massive tachycardia. I was having a hard time breathing and getting winded. And some other things were going on. And not only that, but interestingly, during my pregnancies, in my 20s, my normal weight was 98 pounds. I'm not kidding. I was like a size 2. And during my pregnancies, I'd go up to 189 to 195 pounds during pregnancy. But then I'd go to my 6-week postpartum visit and I'd be back down to 105 pounds already. Like where my doctors would think I was starving myself to death. And I would look at them, I'd be like, no, like they actually thought I was anorexic. And I'm like, and my husband, my ex-husband, my first husband would look at them and be like, trust me, she eats. No, like I don't starve myself. And I couldn't convince them that no, I eat, I eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and yeah, I eat a healthy diet, but sometimes we'll go out for pizza or whatever. And trust me, I don't just nibble or whatever, but it was just there was no reason. So now we know the reasons. So what was going on is I was having an autoimmune flare-up. And for me, a lot of people, autoimmune flare-ups, they lose weight. Well, here's the thing that doctors weren't realizing. An autoimmune flare-up, whether you lose weight or gain weight, depends on what the immune disease is attacking. So it was what my immune system was attacking is why I was gaining weight. So that's what was throwing them off, is they were going by the norm. And this is something that makes a lot of doctors misdiagnose, unfortunately, which is why it's so important. And this is the big thing I tell people about advocating for yourself, is you have got to be aware, if you have anything medically going on with you, of your own symptoms, and keep a running list of your symptoms. And know this, nothing is an insignificant symptom. Nothing. When I started having this, when I was for example, having a sip of my coffee, choking on or waking up in the middle of the night and choking. I just thought it was something stupid. Bottom line, esophageal dysfunction, which the only major autoimmune disease that is part of is scleroderma. This has been going on for at least 5 years. Should have, could have, would have, hindsight being 50-50 or whatever they say, could I have been more aware for myself? I'm sorry. I get so emotional these days in my videos and stuff. Some people say it's because I'm looking for sympathy, but it's not. It's, this is hard. I actually talked to a social worker and a counselor about this. And when you get diagnosed with the type of disease that I have, you go through a grieving process, just like when someone loses someone, and it's normal. I'm grieving losing myself. And a lot of people don't understand that. They think, oh my God, what's wrong with her? She's just looking for sympathy, or she's a mess. Or maybe someone who's like, no, this person, whether you know me or you know someone else, is going through a grieving process. I'm making peace, just like if you lost your loved one, I have a death sentence over my head. I'm making peace with that. And it is not easy at all. I went from, and those who follow me on my KC Hill, a K and a C Hill, if you're not already there, or his and her secret stuff, I was a size 6. I was driving all over the country promoting my company. I would get up in the morning, get my kids ready for school, get my kids off to school, run my company, have dinner ready, do the kids' homework with them. Like, I was doing it all. And in between, I'd be working out for 3 hours during the day. Like, before the kids even got up in the morning, I would have jogged for 45 minutes. Like, seriously, that was me right before I got sick. That was me right before I got sick. That was me. That. Not this. My hair is like, we haven't shaved it this week yet. So, no, my hair isn't back. You can see it's still thin. So we're still keeping it shaved. And over here, it's getting spots. Not this. Not, the scar on my nose from the stupid skin cancer and and I already have a scar over here from where they took my gallbladder out, not because, I know a lot of people get it out, but mine ruptured inside of me from my immune system, and, my tumors that I keep getting in me are from the inflammation, and now I have surgery coming up for my kidney. This isn't me. So I'm making peace with that. And have to make peace with that. My life, instead of getting up every day and being able to have the energy and work like I used to and just take care of my kids and my family, is getting up and throwing up violently in a toilet and feeling like I'm about to pass out, and sometimes at the same time having my heart rate go through the roof, but my husband's at work, and I'm like, okay, should I call him and tell him that I feel like I need to go to the hospital, or should I just stick it out? And thank God my 22-year-old son still lives at home, and he works the night shift, so he's home all day, and so, and these are my days, and then chemo injection once a week, and going to doctor's appointments 3 days a week, so and making, and this is to keep me alive and to keep me stable. This isn't like, oh, let's just do this. This is like, has to happen, because otherwise something could start happening and they don't catch it, and then I become either worse or dead, so, and this is why this happened, because I wasn't seeing the doctors all the time, and I was just, oh, so I'm sick, and, like why I had my hat on today before I took my hat off. I'm freezing. I don't feel good. I developed a virus, and, I'm already sick because of these tumors, and the immune system's already breaking me down, and the chemo, and, I'm cold. I'm freezing today. And, and it's not cold in my house. It's like 72 degrees in my house, and I'm freezing, So that's not me. It's like a grieving process. So when I got really sick back in 2009, where I was living in Georgia, I had started my company, I emergently have to be moved to Rhode Island. I have my gallbladder out. The pathology, which means they tested the tissue, says that for at least 2 years of time, I've had chronic inflammation in that organ. The doctors said you have to have some kind of chronic autoimmune disease, and for it to be attacking this organ, it has to be one of the serious ones. And that's where it began. And it just got worse from there. And first it was, you have lupus and fibromyalgia. And I think I just put on blinders from there. Honestly, I didn't even hear fibro when they said lupus. It wasn't until I finally applied for disability for the first time, which was, I want to say, 5 years after this all started, and I was like still trying to work my business 100%, and finally said to my doctor, I was like, I can't do this. And he's like, well, you're not supposed to be working. And he's like, you're disabled. And I'm like, so I filed for disability. And I mean, I didn't want to be disabled, and I didn't want to be sick, and I didn't want any of this. And anybody who truly watches who I am and what I'm doing, like, every once in a while it'll come across my ears that someone says, she's not really sick. Look at her. She's still working her business, and she's still like performing music with her husband. And then I sit and think, and I'm like, okay, well, wouldn't you think, amen, like, look at her. She refuses to give up. Why do people think things in such a twisted, wrong, let me push you down way, and not the truthful, honest, empowering way that it is? Because the reality is I'm trying not to give up and living. And, so I keep getting sicker and sicker, bottom line. And, then, like I said, we end up in Boston. So what's going on, we find out, is that I have this undifferentiated connective tissue disease. Nobody's been hearing us talk about it because my husband, when we got the diagnosis, we had already been being told by my doctors for my internal organs that they knew it was scleroderma attacking my organs. And the doctor in Boston had said, her actual first response was, this isn't lupus, this is, my first guess is scleroderma. But then her complete diagnosis was this, it's called like an umbrella disease. So in other words, undifferentiated connective tissue disease is a big disease that is a combination. You have all these other diseases. I don't know of any other cancer, heart problem. I don't think this happens in any other illness or to any, like, very often. They call me in Boston, which is one of the major medical facilities in the country, their special patient. Okay? My doctors call me their special patient. Or I walk into my rheumatologist says, here she is, the myth, the legend. In other words, I'm defying the odds. They're surprised I'm alive and I'm walking again. I'm walking without my cane right now. That's me refusing to give up. That's not that I'm not sick. That's also not that I'm cured. That's me refusing to give up. And undifferentiated connective tissue disease, I mean, let's put it this way. I love the little things on Facebook. You know how you can do the picture frames? like for supporting things, there's no undifferentiated connective tissue disease support. So I always either put lupus or scleroderma. So, because there's no undifferentiated connective tissue. There's even mixed connective tissue disease, which is another thing that I have. So, undifferentiated connective tissue disease, mixed connected. So, with the illnesses that are driving it are lupus, systemic lupus, diffuse systemic scleroderma, okay, mixed connective tissue disease, fibromyalgia. If I forget something, please. It doesn't mean I don't have it. It means I'm just like, I sometimes have things that, like, it's hard for me to gather all of my thoughts sometimes. Sjogren's disease, psoriatic arthritis, Raynaud's phenomena, I know I'm forgetting something, but I think I've said enough. So anyone can look up any of those and see all the symptoms. And in all honesty, once you look up undifferentiated connective tissue disease and see everything that entails, you're going to be like, oh my goodness. So, okay. What exactly has this been causing for me? In the here and now. Prior to that isn't active right now, I've had 3 times where my right kidney has blown up like a balloon, been 3 times its normal size, and shut down and only worked 25%. I'm going to start with that because I've survived it. Guess what? Thank God, and knock on some wood, is still inside of me today. That baby, my right kidney, she's with me right now. So I always focus on that. So doesn't my big sister, who keeps reminding me that I've survived that. So that's what we're focused on right now. I've made it through. And I've gotten what's called spontaneous remission before. And had it for a significant amount of years, like 3 or 4 years. So we're praying to God that that happens. And I'm trying to figure out, because I truly believe that that happens with a specific diet, exercise, lifestyle regimen. I believe that 100%. I'm actually writing a book about my healing life. And I feel that I figured out that how I inadvertently, back then in my 20s when I had my kidneys shut down, did that. So, I feel that everything in life happens for a reason. And I truly feel that there isn't a tumor in my kidney right now. And that this test is coming back showing as if there's a tumor in my kidney, because the series of events that happened when I went into remission before began with my kidney doctor needing to go inside and do surgery. He came out, he didn't find anything, and he couldn't find why my kidney was shutting down. But the things that he ended up doing afterwards, I ended up going into remission. So I feel like this is the beginning of us being able to get remission. Like, I think everything going on and the people supporting us and the people contributing to the GoFundMe so I can get medical treatments and all of this going on and the support is the beginning that this is going to happen. And I know that we are going to be able to start doing every medical treatment. And I think that, Yale New Haven keeps calling for us to make the appointments, and people are just like really behind us. I think we are going to be able to start going to Yale New Haven soon. that the financial backing for us to be able to do everything we need to do is going to be there. And I really think that things are going to fall into place, and I am going to get this. But then I lost my gallbladder, as I told you guys. It blew up inside of me. I've had pulmonary hypertension that is currently inactive. It was caused by the autoimmune disease. What's going on right now? My immune system is attacking my muscles, causing me to have such severe pain in my legs and my arms that it cripples me and where I cannot even move them. I'm not talking about bad pain. I'm talking where it feels like someone broke every bone in my leg, in my arm, and at the same time set my flesh on fire. Pain. I'm not exaggerating. Like pain you have never experienced. Those are the sensations I'm feeling. Those are the sensations. Attacking my muscles, causing me weakness, where all of a sudden I will just fall down the stairs, which is why I use a cane. I'm still supposed to be using my cane for that reason. I have to be very careful. That's another reason why we have the support bars and the handicap access bars. And, you know, I'm very aware and very careful when I walk. I'm in physical therapy. I have physical therapy exercises I have to do daily to try to regain my muscle strength that I have lost and to continue to regain it. In my arms as well, loss of strength, where I sometimes cannot even open up a bottle of water. My brain and my entire vascular system causing me to have severe ocular migraines, causing me to have mini strokes, causing me to have seizures sometimes. My heart causing me to have extreme tachycardia, causing me to have AFib, causing me to have chronic arrhythmia, causing me to have heart murmur. So bad that I could have a heart attack. My lungs causing me to have severe shortness of breath and my oxygen to dip. My stomach and intestines causing me to where I have developed irritable bowel syndrome. I have developed colitis. I've had those since I was 12 from the diseases. And on top of that, for the last 5 years, have had paresis, which means that my digestive tract has begun to slowly shut down. It does not work. I have to take pills daily just for my food to digest itself and to move through so that I can go to the bathroom, because otherwise my stomach doesn't digest and my intestines don't move the food through. They don't work. They're paralyzing. They're slowly paralyzing. My liver has chronic inflammation. It has now developed a tumor. It has developed disease that is getting worse. My pancreas has chronic pancreatitis and has for 7 years now. Chronic pancreatitis causes me pain. It causes me nausea as bad as severe morning sickness, but it's morning, noon, and night sickness like a woman has when she's pregnant. It is attacking my esophagus, causing that esophageal dysfunction that I told you about. That is basically causing my esophagus to slowly not work, which eventually will lead to me needing a feeding tube. Eventually, my esophagus will just not work. With my paresis, eventually I'll need an ostomy bag. Eventually, I'll need a feeding tube. This is where I'm going. If I live, if a major organ doesn't give out beforehand, if my heart doesn't stop, a major organ doesn't give out, I'm going to where like my muscles will, where I'll be, unable to get out of bed, because this is where I'm going. What else is it attacking? My kidneys, they see a tumor, what they think is a tumor. I get chronic kidney infections, chronic inflammation. So we're dealing with skin cancer. They removed some. It attacks my teeth. I've had 4 root canals in the last year because it's attacking the roots of my teeth and killing the roots of my teeth, where literally I will all of a sudden wake up in severe pain in a tooth, and and my root is dead in my tooth. And that's why. And it's the Scleroderma is attacking my teeth. So these are the majority of the things that are going on right in the here and now. This is why I am unstable. This is why I'm on chemo. What is the chemo doing? The chemo is being used. I get it injected weekly. It is what's saving my life. It's keeping me alive. It's killing my immune system. Otherwise, my immune system will kill me. The chemo is not a permanent solution. Chemo is a toxin. Eventually, it's either going to stop working, they're going to max it out, and then once the diseases break through it, that's it, and the diseases will kill me. Or you can end up becoming toxic from the chemo, meaning you get a fatal dose and die from overdosing on the drug. So these are all of the details. So I hope that helps everybody to understand why I'm emotional, why it's a hard time, why we need remission, why getting everybody's help is so important, why the people at Haunted in New England started the GoFundMe, and people are starting benefits, and why there's so many people who are really trying to raise money to help me get every possible alternative treatment going to fight these diseases, because there's nothing else medicine-wise the doctors can do. This is it. Methotrexate is it. There's nothing else. We have to go for whatever else, holistic, medicinal, whatever else there is. Otherwise, it's either lay down and let the diseases take their course, and this is what's going to happen. So I hope that helps everybody to understand. Thank you for listening. Thank you, everybody who follows my story. God bless everybody who helps. And God bless anybody who's watching, who's going through their own battle. And for anybody who is going through their own battle, stay strong, stay focused. You're not alone. And remember that we're all in this world for a reason. And you can always take your struggle and use it to help in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's like I'm doing, to help to inform others, to help inspire others, and to help try to find a solution to others. I'm not just looking for answers to make myself better, but I always say to my husband, honey, I think that this is it. I think that I know, and imagine how many lives I can save if this is what the solution is to make people better with autoimmune diseases. And I mean that, so fight not just for yourself, but fight to help those around you too. If we all are there for each other, imagine what a better world that this world would be. That's what we need to get back in this world to begin with, and just paying it forward, helping each other, and just, making the world a more positive place. God bless everyone, and thank you.